Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew and let's get to the show.
I think Luke is still muted. There he is.
Come on up to the house. Come on up that cross we could use. Oh, what I'm trying to do a Tom Thibodeau, Tom Waits impression. It's failing miserably.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was 0 for 2 on that one.
Welcome to the Daily Grind, everybody. I've got both of the Bucks, 1 and 2. How are we, guys? Are you guys doing
I'm
good?
1. Yeah,
He's
good.
He's won simply because he's shorter, so we have to let him have one advantage in life. That's the only reason. But we're good, man. You know, it's good here in Memphis. Maggie and I went out to a night's dinner last night, and we're getting ready to leave. The waiter said, "Box for your leftovers," and I said, "No, but I'll wrestle you for them."
Uncle Buck liked that one. He just wanted to admit
He did. I got a giggle out of that one.
I could tell. He's
It reminded me
I
of,
like it, but he does.
it reminded me of one of my favorite bits that I used to do when I worked at Hibbett Sports in Corinth, Mississippi, with my good buddy and former boss Joe Patrick. During Christmas season, we were both working the registers. Somebody would ask us if we rapped, and we would just look at each other and go. And then the other one would just start like rapping, and then they'd be like, they just look at us like deadpan, and we were like, "Oh, you meant presents?"
Yes.
No.
That's pretty good.
I love it,
That's
man.
good.
I would have. I can't tell you what I would do to be able to walk into a Hibbett Sports and see you do that. I mean, I'm imagining that, and it's wonderful. Let's jump right into it. We got some stuff to talk about. We got a firing that happened yesterday. A fire. There's a fire. Oh, there's a fire. Tom Thibodeau of the New York Knicks was relieved of his duties as head coach. This was fresh off the Knicks making their first Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. Oh, damn.
Don't put that up. He thinks it's just like King Hater is what he is. Me, DG, Uncle Buck, it just rotates.
It just rotates. When the Knicks were hating on Tom Thibodeau, I mean, like, what do y'all think about this? Like, we talked.
I mean,
I talked about this on the 2 Bucks Sports Show on Monday.
Yeah.
We were talking about, like, do you do the big move or the little move? And I said run it back and fire Tibbs because it just seems like it had run its course a little bit. And there was obviously some infighting. And honestly, I was kind of surprised that people were puzzled that this happened. I kind of expected it to happen. And maybe it's just because I'm a Grizzlies fan and I'm used to hearing everybody complain about the coach. But, like, it seemed like media everywhere was just kind of like split on whether this was a good idea. And I didn't think it was a bad idea. Whether you did it or not was one thing, but I was kind of surprised that people were stumping for the guy, you know?
yeah,
He's always played his players into the ground with low rotations and hadn't had. I mean, the Eastern Conference was wide open for his taking this year, and you know they fell short to Indiana. I mean,
every stop that Tibbs has been, his system has a pretty hard ceiling, right? Like Chicago hit a ceiling, Minnesota's hit a ceiling, and now we've got the Knicks that have kind of hit the ceiling. You can't expect to run your guys into the ground 38, 40 minutes a night and expect them to have playoff legs. And it just looked like Indiana was the more rested, the better prepared, whatever you want to call it, team that Eastern Conference Finals. And so same, like I said on Twitter yesterday, like surprising yet really not surprising. Maybe the timing, I guess, I don't know, but like it felt like they were at kind of an impasse, and it was either going to be Tibbs or the players, and they chose the players and let Tibbs go. He'll probably land on somebody will give him a job at some point, but his system clearly has a cap, and I think they ran up against that in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. It's no longer it is no longer a league for a coach like Tibbs. It's just not. And we could blame Adam Silver. It's gone too far. It's a players' league, but ultimately, like, if you're going to play your dudes 46 minutes a game, your dudes are going to revolt. And when the players revolt, no one can stand in between you and the the pavement outside the doors of the team offices. Like,
And Tim
it's just not going to be
doing
that
it
way.
for a while. There was a picture floating around yesterday of him with a greasy, slick back mullet. So he's been coaching since mullets were a thing. And I agree with you, Drew.
Since he had hair.
Yeah, so I think the times that hard-nosed old school coach are kind of going by the wayside in today's prima donna generation. Old man yells at clouds, but I think Tibbs is kind of the last of a bygone era for sure.
I just don't know how. I mean, I get it. Like when you don't start playing your bench, your normal, like he was playing Landry and DeLon Wright.
Right.
He was like, and you don't get to start lengthening your rotation in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's not when you get to decide to do that. For
me, it was like you did this all season.
Yeah.
You tied yourself to one style of play, and you did that by only playing 6 or 7 guys, and you did this all regular season long. So in the NBA playoffs, when you have to have a counterpunch to every single counterpunch, you have no way of doing that because you have no other guys you can go to. And when in the playoffs, when it becomes about your weakest link and Brunson and Towns is just getting targeted on defense over and over and over again, you have nothing that you can go to, and there's no other bullets in your arsenal. And I mean, you just did that all year long for the 3rd straight playoff run. This year ended up in the Eastern Conference Finals, but it wasn't all by their own doings. Boston just blew the first 2 games of the semifinal series, and then in Game 4, Tatum blew out his Achilles. So it's just you kind of got there. Looking back in retrospect, they weren't, like the Grizzlies said, they weren't that close.
Especially when, like you said, like Cat ended up being such a major liability. Although with Randall, this team's probably not in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they were hunting Cat when he was on the floor, when he was playing defense, because he was just so bad in this series. And the Knicks, just the dysfunction is hindsight's 2020. Like looking back, you can see the dysfunction now, right? Like Cat wasn't great defensively. Mikal Bridges was not his best in the Eastern Conference Finals. Brunson kind of became a one-trick pony, and it just all kind of fell apart. And so if you look back, it's like, yeah, this Tibbs firing makes sense because they're not going to be able to adjust they're not going to make a ton of fringe movements because they have so much money tied up into their starters. And they're very top heavy. They can't do a lot. So Tibbs leaving is the natural move, and see if a new voice can step in and be the man, that takes them over the hump next year.
We'll see. I mean, like piggybacking off of this, I don't know who the Knicks are going to get. Do you think Tibbs is coaching in the league next year? Do you think he takes a year off?
I think it's at least a year off. I don't know that we'll see him again next year. A name that's not coming up on any coaching hot boards is Taylor Jenkins. He's not even in the top odds for this job either. I meant to bookmark yesterday. I forgot who some of the top candidates were, but obviously, what's the former Villanova coach? He's the name that came up this morning. Jay Wright came up this morning just because of the Villanova ties. The assistant for the Cavs is a name that's coming up. There's a lot of guys that are going to want to coach this Knicks team, so I don't think this one will be a job that I feel like they'll get a name. I think Kenny Atkinson, actually, now that I remember, was like the number 2 odds to get this job.
No sitting head coach is going to leave their team for another job. You haven't seen that. When's the last time you saw a sitting head coach leave and take another job?
Listen, this is the year of kooky things. Because when was the last time you saw a young team make the NBA Finals like the Thunder? Right, like this is a year that strange things happen. So it could. I'm not going to sit here and say it'll never happen, but it could.
There were 3 teams that fired their head coaches in like the last week of the season. So
the odds are Mike Malone at plus 125. Johnny Bryant is the coach.
Johnny Bryant
plus 400. Jay Wright's plus 15. Budenholzer, Atkinson, Rick Brunson, and Monty Williams are all plus 1,500. Taylor Jenkins actually made this board at plus 3,500.
Yeah, they just put names on boards. Patrick O'Brien's probably going to be the coach. He was the Knicks assistant that was named a finalist for the Phoenix job, and then 2 days later, or the same day, they fired Tibbs. And so the guys, according to Bill Simmons, I listened to him last night on his latest pod, said the guys like him, and that could have been a reaction part of the reason why Tibbs was fired is because their number 2, their next best option, was about to take another job,
getting poached.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, look what happened with Boston. They lost all their staff, and then
not Ime.
Will Hardy and
Will Hardy. Yeah.
And who's the guy that went down to coach Georgia Tech?
David Stoudemire.
Stoudemire. Yeah, I mean, like they lost everybody, and then they were. Maybe the Knicks don't want that to happen to them. That's a good point.
And that's partially what the Grizz did, right? We didn't want to lose T.I. to another job, so here we are.
I mean,
I'd have hated to lose him to some Greek team.
We don't got to talk about that anymore. Oh, I love that tone. Moving on to the finals, because we do have a basketball game that starts tomorrow. Yeah, it's Wednesday, right? My days are all messed up. The finals start tomorrow. I wanted to break down some bets for this final because
Fun.
Yeah, you can gamble in like every state now.
Except mine.
Oh,
shout out Mississippi.
Oh, can you not? I didn't know Mississippi.
No, my cousin Jim is a big sports bettor, and he lives just outside of Corinth. And if you know, if you drive up Highway 45, Drew, and you're going up towards Selmer, there's that Love's gas station right there at Mickey at the red light. He'll drive and sit in that parking lot and make his bets and then drive back to Winnesoga.
There's some guys. I know some guys here in Ripley where I live who will drive 20 minutes up into Middleton, Tennessee, just right over the state line. And,
oh my God, that's awesome!
It used to be, the old days. That was the old beer route.
Yep, that's it.
you go across the state line.
I got a great book called Ghost Tales: The State Line Mob. It talks about all the liquor drug running across Alcorn County and McNairy County, right there, Mississippi Tennessee line. It's some epic Hollywood. It's the old Walking Tall story, right? With Buford Pusser and all that. Hollywood couldn't script something wilder than what's in that book.
Yep. Now imagine that book, but with sports betting, where they're all parlays. And
everybody's sitting over there on their phone with FanDuel, like
No Head White is over here running down cash bets.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look at some of these bets since 2 of the 3 of us are able to do it, and you can do it if you just drive a little bit.
I'll mail in cash to Las Vegas.
Mail in cash.
with the old lottery like Scantron, right? Where you just bubble in what you want and mail it in.
I'll be your bookie. So let's look at some of these finals bets. Rusty, you said you found some that you liked.
Yeah, I got quite a few that I liked. I don't know what you would come up with, but I found quite a few. So I'll just start. I took on the over under at 231.5. I'm going to take the under. The Pacers are the number 1 3-point shooting team in the NBA playoffs.
What's the bet?
The Thunder, I said the over under is 231.5. And I said, I'm going to take the under because the Pacers are the top 3-point shooting team in the NBA playoffs. The Thunder are the 13th, but the Thunder are the best defensive team playing. I think this is going to be kind of a slugfest, ugly first game as they feel each other out. I would take the under on 231.5.
So
No
way.
I'd hammer the over.
See, so this is interesting because if you think it's going to be, there's a bet that I like. If you think it's going to be a high scoring game, I love each team to score 30 in the first quarter because that's plus 1,200 odds.
Yeah,
plus 1,200. If they run up and down this thing, if this turns into an all-star game really early, that's a good bet. But
it could. I mean, both these teams play with pace. So Luke, that's actually not a terrible bet.
But you're right though. It's going to go one of 2 ways. You either think it's going to be a slugfest while these guys figure it out and they're going to go under, or you think it's going to go the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
plus 1,200 is great odds for that because if I'm going to go over, that implies 60, 240. Yeah.
I would feel more inclined to make this bet if it was game 2. I do think you are probably right that it is going to be what do we call these slobber knockers?
Slobber knocker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But who sees? Well, what were some other ones you like? Did you see? No, go ahead.
So I like 2 point totals that I like. Pascal Siakam has been big for the Pacers so far this playoffs, and you can get him over 18.5 on ESPN bet at plus 100. It's not a great odds, but it's still plus money. I think Siakam is going to be key while they're keying in on Hallie, and it's going to be up to some of those other guys. I got a Neesmith bet here in a minute as well. I'm going to take an over 18.5 on Siakam, but Miles Turner gives Chet Holmgren issues, and I've got Holmgren under 16.5.
We know it's Holmgren.
Whatever.
Damn. I saw Uncle
Listen,
Buck smile.
This is not a show for pronunciation.
No.
all right?
Lord, no. Can I tell you another one that I like? And maybe this is just me liking the Pacers more. I don't think the series is going to be 4 or 5 games. It's plus 300 if you think this is going to be a 6-game series.
What can I get it for 4?
280.
Plus 280?
Yeah.
I'd take that.
It's 198 for a 5-game series. And I just don't.
I mean, it feels like what it's going to be.
Oh, come on.
I'm saying 5 or 6.
I think it's 4 or 5.
I like this. I'm giving the Pacers entirely too much credit. This is why I'm not good at gambling. Ask anybody.
They deserve it. They deserve it. I just went on a diatribe on Monday's edition of the $2 Sports Show. I just feel like Indiana is like if Oklahoma City's Budweiser, Indiana's just Bud Light. There's just so much that they do the same that Oklahoma City just does better.
Yeah.
Do you have you looked at some of these? Some of the Shea prop bet, like they're insane.
Oh, yeah.
Did you look at these, Rusty?
Yeah, there's a SGA, the over-under on ESPN bet for his free throws made is 9.5. And I'm going to hammer the over on that.
Yep.
Hammer the over on that.
It's plus 500 for Shea to score triple-double in any game.
Wow.
In any game?
In any game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Plus 370 for Tyrese to do it. Some of these just feel like really
like
good.
giving away money. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
that one
I mean,
feels
like
pretty good. Same, you could get SGA over 7.5 assists in game 1 for plus 120. I feel like that's probably a given as good as he plays. Another one I like is Neesmith to go over 2.5 threes. You could get that for plus 475. Again, the Pacers are the number 1 3-point shooting team in the NBA playoffs this year. Neesmith over 2.5 for plus 475. I'm hammering the over on that.
Are they trying to take our money? This feels like
that feels like a scam, Rusty.
I feel like
if it's too good to be true, right?
Yeah.
a lot of these, I'm like, listen, I know I'm not the smartest man nor the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I feel like I can do that. I mean, like, if you think you mentioned Pascal and like Tyrese and Pascal to combine for 35, that's 20 and 15.
Yeah.
In every game, plus 1,200.
This feels too good to be true, man.
I'm telling you.
What it tells me is that the Thunder finna walk the dog with these Pacers.
Yes. Looking at all of these, that is the one. That is the biggest overarching theme that I noticed from looking at these bets is that the Thunder might just absolutely walk the dog with the Pacers because a lot of these bets, I was like, oh man, I feel like I could bet some money on the Pacers. I like them.
Yeah.
But
I got 2 last ones for you. The first one, Pascal Siakam, anytime double plus 800. I feel like that's a pretty easy one as well. And then the turnovers I thought were interesting. So over for Hallie to go 2.5 turnovers. If he goes over 2.5 turnovers, is plus 150. SGA under 2.5 turnovers is plus 175. And as much as the Thunder force teams to turn the ball over and they're going to key on Halliburton, I think I might take the over on that at plus 120.
Man, I'm so glad we don't have money. Because I'm so glad I don't have. What's the old saying? You got to have money to bet money or whatever the damn.
Scared money don't make money.
Yeah, hey, tell that to my bank account, brother. I'm over here looking and I'm like, I guarantee every time I gamble, we need to have you could do a whole like podcast series about my unluck through my life. It is quite comical how unlucky I am. I will every time I bet, I don't know when to quit. Ask Daniel Greer, I'll always be like, so Daniel, tell me about this 7-leg parlay that I've done a lot of math on and how I put my entire life savings into it. And he's like, Luke, why would you do that? Yeah,
Drew loves the parlay, right, Drew?
No, I think you're just lighting your money on fire every single time.
When I'm like, okay, let's see 30 rebounds.
Oh, spent $5. Well, just send it to me then. I got 9 legs on minor league baseball. Just
I'm the same way, especially like college football. Like I'll cook up this great parlay on Saturday morning. I'm like, this is awesome. And I had it was like earlier in the season, I had like a 9-game parlay and all I needed was like, I think it was like Tennessee to cover and I was going to win like $1,500 or something on like a $5 bet, and they didn't cover by like 1 point. But it's always that one leg that always gets you.
If Rusty gave me $5 for every time he told me he was one leg short of a parlay hitting, I would have like $100. I think he just reduced the size of his parlay by one every time. Like make your parlay and then just be like, I'm always one off.
Which one?
Cross this one out.
Scared money don't make money, as Uncle Buck said a few minutes
you don't
ago.
make money and you ain't scared. So.
I hit every once in a while.
Hey, it's $5, man. You can buy you a Mountain Dew and a bag of Chex Mix at the gas station for $5. I mean, think about that. Man, football's bad. God, I can't wait to bet on football again. It's so fun to do 9-leg. Uncle Buck, you just got to. Once it's legalized in Mississippi, brother, you're going to be one of us.
Oh, I'm not anti-sports betting. Trust me, But
there's anti-parlays because they're stupid.
I think that there's a reason why every time you see a sports book ad, they're advertising parlays because they are sinking ships.
Until that one hits.
There's a reason why they advertise the same game parlay more than they advertise the app. Yeah.
Because what they do is they get me. They'll get me on Twitter and Instagram. Somebody will post about this one random dude who won $120,000 on like a 7-leg NFL touchdown parlay, and I'm like, that could be me.
It's me.
Yeah.
Oh God, man, we're hopeless.
That's marketing 101, right?
Shut up,
all right, it works.
We're hopeless. Okay, leave us alone. We're going to draft some stuff now because it's draft day, not the movie. I hit my desk really hard. Draft day, not the movie. We are going to be drafting. Oh, for those of you, if this is your first time joining us, which shout out in the comments. I haven't shouted you all out today. You guys are great. Also, shout out because I dropped the ball a little bit and I forgot to play the commercial. Shout out Ounce of Hope. www.ounceofhope.com. Check them out. They have THC seltzers. I know Rusty's big on that. Mm-hmm. They've got what are they called? The
rebound
capsules. Those I'm paydays tomorrow. I'm gonna get my cart ready. Little surprise. I got Bonnaroo next week, so we're gonna be getting a big old shipment in, and so we're just gonna have a good time. But ounceofhope.com, promo code Bluff City, it gets you 15% off your order.
15% off. Let me tell you this too. Also, if you're local, you can use ounceofhope.com like I did. I used Ounce of Hope. What's today? Today is Wednesday. Monday night, I submitted an order for some more seltzers and some dog treats, some CBD treats for Maggie's Dog River, like I was talking about yesterday. And I picked him up yesterday afternoon, 24-hour turn, not even 24-hour turnaround, maybe 13 hours. It was ready and waiting. I picked it up on my way home from work. Ounce of Hope does a great business locally here in Memphis. Check them out. Great people, great calls with what they do for like the green initiatives here in Memphis. Couldn't recommend these guys more.
Gotta save the earth. Because Earth, welcome to Earth.
Third rock from the sun. Shout out Joe Dickey.
Back to the draft though, because I'm gonna need some Ounce of Hope if we're drafting because I suck at this. I was thinking about the I don't know why, but I was thinking about the time we drafted all the Grizzlies color alternate jerseys, and I was like, oh man, I lost so bad. But I digress.
Yeah, you took the Tams.
Shut up.
Yeah, you took the green and yellow right then. You lost.
That's what popped into my head. I was like, why did I pick that green jersey? What was I thinking?
Every time, look, I think about that a lot. Like when I was sending the Magic stuff yesterday, I'm like, I can't believe Luke picked that green and yellow combination.
I can't even see green. I'm color by whatever. Today,
that actually makes sense then.
Shut up,
maybe.
We're drafting today. We will be drafting snake style.
I've already written out the order on my paper because I know how it's probably going to go.
I've got my dice. We'll roll
usually
it.
Drew, me, Luke. That's usually how it goes. So I've got it written out. We'll see what happens.
We will be drafting finals MVPs from the last, what did I say, 20 years? What did I say?
Since 2000.
2000. Finals MVPs. It was funny going back and looking through this list because it's like a lot of the same, and then no shade, but there's a Chauncey Billups in here, and it's like, what?
Hey, don't be giving away.
Hey, listen, hang on now, watch it.
Sorry. All right, let's roll. Going first will be not me, Rusty.
Hey, I get to go first.
I didn't even get to pick my dice numbers.
I just assigned you 1 and 4.
That's what he always does.
Okay.
I just assigned you first because you're number 1, Uncle Bug.
That's true.
That's
right.
why
I accept.
Mm-hmm.
I accept.
Well, you're going second. And I'll go last. But I'm on the turn.
Right.
Okay.
There's so many good ones here. The 2015 MVP being Iguodala and on that Warriors team is just stupid. So I'm not picking that. Like I hate
thought
that.
you were
That
about to
drives
pick
me up.
Iguodala.
No, absolutely not. I'm going to go 2021 Giannis as my first overall pick because he absolutely carried the wood for that Bucks team, willed them to win that. You talk about like LeBron dragging points. You talk about LeBron dragging the Cavs to a championship and or at least to the finals early in his career. That was 21 Giannis.
Yeah, good pick.
Okay. I will. I'm just taking my favorite players. I don't remember all these finals past like I don't know Kevin Durant, and I'm not taking Kevin Durant on those Warriors teams. So, I'm taking Shaquille O'Neal because I like Shaquille O'Neal.
Because I like Shaquille O'Neal.
Because I like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
All right, I love it. Okay, so I get two.
Two.
Okay, so this is tough because I got to think who I got to hope my third pick is going to be back left for me. My first pick, I'm going to take Kobe from the 08-09 season. Second pick's going to be Dirk.
Dirk was on mine.
I love that.
Yeah, he was on my list.
I love that. Love that team. I'm just taking Kobe because I feel like I have to have one just – and who doesn't like Kobe? But that was his best year, that 08-09 team.
Mm-hmm.
It's when he was averaging over 40 a game.
Am I next? How many are we doing?
Three.
Okay. All right. I'll take Michael Jordan.
But since 2000.
2000.
Oh, did we stipulate that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, like, give me Larry Bird.
I was wondering why he was falling in the draft.
Okay. Doesn't read the group chat.
I will take Steph Curry then. Easy.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to pick Bill Walton with my last pick. Dang it. And I thought that's who you were wanting to fall to you because of the red hair.
I do love Bill Walton.
And I'm sure Bill Walton would go to Bonnaroo if he had the chance.
Damn right.
Absolutely he would. RIP to the GOAT. All right. For me, I get two back-to-back. I'm going Kawhi on that Raptors team because he was amazing for them.
That's
and
what
then
I wanted
I am going Chauncey Billups because Chauncey Billups on that team, they were fun to watch. They were one of the best defensive teams of all time. Ben Wallace with the hair got gypped because how great defensively he played, but I'm going Chauncey Billups.
I really wanted that Kawhi Raptors to fall to me. That's the one I
0% chance. He was number 2 on my big board, and I was hoping he'd get back to me there. Like, he was so good for that Raptors
team. Was great. Yeah.
He was so good. Shout out Marc Gasol.
Yep.
All right, I'll take Nikola Jokic.
And me, I get the last pick.
You got last pick.
I'm going to take Tim Duncan's first one. That 02-03.
Nice.
His first one was 98-99. Doesn't count.
You're right. Second one. Sorry. Damn it. You're like, you're throwing the rule book at me. I'm going to throw it at you.
Yeah. I can't take Michael Jordan. You can't take Tim Duncan 2 years later.
Yeah.
Or the next year.
Oh, God. Okay, recapping. I took Tim Duncan, I took Kobe, and I took Dirk.
I took Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, and Nikola Jokic, and Michael Jordan.
And I got the best list of all you fools in Giannis, Kawhi, and Chauncey Billups as my 3. Let's go.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that LeBron has 4 MVPs in this 25 years, and we didn't take him once.
Exactly.
I just think that's
On principle.
On principle.
Damn it. Damn it.
There's a reason I didn't take Tim Duncan or Steph or Katie as well. Get out of here, man.
Steph is amazing. Nobody can hate Steph.
No, Tim Duncan's not. Yeah, I digress. That's going to do it for our show. I don't want to bury my grave even more. That's going to do it for our show today. We will be back tomorrow to preview the first game of the finals. That's what we're going to be really doing tomorrow. We've already previewed the series as a whole. I want to break like a bobblehead. I want to break down game 1 even more. We will talk about that. This is going to make me sick watching all of our heads bubble. Remember, Ounce of Hope, ounceofhope.com, promo code Bluff City, get you 15% off. We will be back tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. $2. You guys are going live today, right?
11 a.m. Central. Let's go. It's our first live on Wednesday edition. We've recorded on Wednesday before, but it's the first time we're going live on Wednesday.
Can't wait. We got that at 11, then we got Sane at 2:30.
Saying
2. I'll get this right. I'm gonna get this right by tomorrow. Check
We
that
need a
out.
graphic.
I need a graphic.
Yeah,
I'm gonna work on it. We know what happens when I need a don't you we'll be back
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna start it.
Remember these 2 things, y'all, as you go about your day. Remember to be a little bit weird, just a little bit, and remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.